Hello everyone and welcome to the next in our series of daily origami for YouTube. Today we're going to continue with our theme of making traditional origami, and today we're going to make an octopus. This particular origami does use scissors, so I'll warn y'all now, if you hate doing anything with scissors, you don't want to do this project. This project does use standard square paper though. I'm going to be just using paper that's 15 by 15 centimeters, and I'll let you guys know how big things are when we're done. It is a 3D model, so you get a really cool looking kind of little octopus design that you can hang like in a mobile or something if you're interested. So it's a pretty cool little design. What we're going to be doing, it's a great way to learn like using the frog base, and that's what we're going to start off with here. So first, before getting to the frog base, you want to get to the square base. So with my color side facing down, I'm just going to go ahead and fold my paper in half, both vertically and horizontally. Once I've got both of those center creases marked, I'm going to look at it with the color side facing up. We're going to fold in half diagonally both ways. After you've gotten all of these creases, if you look at the top and you look at the color side here, look where we have our mountain creases that run through vertically and horizontally. Pinch on opposite sides and just kind of shimmy everything in and around until you can get to this nice little diamond shape or square shape, which is our square base. Now, the next step in the frog base is to take the outer top edge and roll it into the center. Good crease there. I'm going to just go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. Flip it over and do the same thing on the back. You can do these steps really in any order that you like, but I'm just going to get all these creases done first. So I get all those sides folded over, and we're just going to open everything up. And I'm just going to focus then on this right one. And first I'm just going to make sure that my center crease is clear by folding the flap to the left and then the right. And then kind of let it stand up in the middle and open it up and put a little pressure on the top part so that this smooshes down, the edge becomes the center, and we use those two creases on either side so it smooshes out to be a nice little kite shape. Then I'm just going to make the crease in the middle become a valley as I put my left flap over to my right. Now I'm just going to repeat those steps with this part here. We're just going to open everything up again and smoosh it down. And then just reverse that crease by folding the flap back over. Do the same thing on this side, just folding these things, popping them open, and returning the crease. Just make sure everything gets nice and smoothed out when you do this, so you don't get anything that gets bent weird, the wrong way. So we have all of these, you should have 4 flaps on each side then. I'm just going to take one of these left flaps and fold it to the right, flip it over and do the same thing so that I'm now looking at those white areas, and you should be able to split the leg section down there at the bottom. Now we're going to do a petal fold like we've done for some things like the crane, for example. I'm going to take this bottom edge and fold up here. We'll do the same thing on this side. You can open both of these up, and we're going to take that first layer and pull up. And essentially I'm going to be creating a crease that goes right between where both of those creases hit the edge. So you can kind of pinch where those are a little if you want. And then we're just going to go ahead and push this part over. And essentially we're going to be creating a new crease that comes right up and allows this part to lay flat. Now you can kind of play around with things, and sometimes the angle of stuff doesn't allow this to be perfect, and you might have a tiny bit of white in there, and that's fine. But you want to get everything extended like something like this. I'm just going to flip it over, repeat the same steps here on the back. So again, I'm just folding over towards the center. Do the same thing on this side too. Open things up. Kind of get the crease started by just pinching at the sides where those edges are. And then get everything to kind of open up towards the center as much as you can. It's probably not going to go perfect, of course, that's okay. Get something like this. And then if I go ahead and just open up to that other white side for both sides here, You're going to be repeating these steps one more time, both for the front and back again. So you've done it 4 times in total. So when you're finished, you should have all of these folded up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take one layer of this side from the left and fold to the right, flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. So you should have this nice smooth diamond shape here. And what I want to do is take each of these bottom edges and we're going to fold it towards the center. Try to make as nice of a little point down there as you can. And this is a really narrow fold, but we're just going to get that side folded over and then this side folded over. So you get something that looks like this. Then if I flip it over, repeat the steps on the back side as well. You want to try to get things sharp down there at the bottom. It can be tricky, that's for sure. But get both of those done, and then we just open up to the other sides that we have that are like little diamond shapes, and repeat the steps over here too. So we get this nice little narrow shape going here when we're done. Get all 4 parts completed. So you get all of those folded over, and then I want to take one of these layers here and we're just going to fold it up. Now I don't want to pull it all the way too far here. What it's going to do is it's just going to hit right where these kind of creased edges are. You can kind of see them there. It should be just shy of the top. And I'll flip it over and fold this side up too. And then I'm just going to go ahead and open everything up to the other sides that I haven't folded up yet. And do the same thing here. Just line up your centers when you do this, of course. Then we can kind of look at things from the top. I can open up these 2 sides. I also want to open up the 2 sides in the middle, so you can kind of open things here and then open this side up too. So that when you get everything, you should be able to kind of get it to a point where everything opens in the center enough to create a square, so that all 4 of these sides can stick out nice and straight. You can kind of let it rest flat if you can. Get something like this. Then I'm going to use my scissors. This is where you use your scissors. We're going to cut right along this creased edge here, all the way up to the top. And this is how you're going to go from having 4 legs to having 8 legs, like any good octopus would have. So we're just going to slide right up to that creased edge we made. My rooster is so loud, excuse me. There we go. So you get all 4 of those sections cut. So we've got all these little flaps folded over, cut out now, so that we have 8 legs instead of 4, obviously. And what we want to do is take, if we're looking right here at this side, for example, I want to take the left flap and I'm going to fold it over so that the inside part that I just cut comes straight up against the crease that I made before. And I'm just going to go around and do that for all 4 of these sides, and this is going to help kind of create a nice little fanning technique for the legs. Now if you were wanting your little octopus to sit more, you know, be hanging up kind of, then I'll show you guys when we get to that part, you know, where you can kind of maybe lay his legs straight. But we get all 4 of those kind of folded over. And then if you just blow into the whole section here and make the top part of the octopus's head poof out a little bit more, he looks more 3D here. So this kind of gives you an idea of the body kind of poofed out, and how far you poof that out is up to you as well. But if you're kind of leaving him sitting around, you've got a nice little sort of spiraling twist going to his legs, if you see here, if you get them all folded out the right way. And then depending on, you know, if you want it to be more of like something that kind of hangs, you can kind of let them all just fall down naturally there. But that should give you your little finished octopus. Now let me tell you guys how big he is. Depending on how fat you made his head when you poofed it out, he's about 4 and then about 9 centimeters long. But this is a really cool little octopus. I think he's a neat one. He has a good dimension to him. But again, if you don't like scissors, you probably don't want to do this project. But that should give you your finished octopus, which is our finished project for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.